Hello, friends. I have a problem and I wanted to talk to you about it. I've thought long and hard about this problem, and I realized that it's not peculiar to me alone. I have friends who are dealing with this problem, acquaintances, even strangers are dealing with this problem. Now, you may ask, what is this problem? Thank you very much for that question. Thank you for being willing to hear me out. See, this problem is I have too many interests. If I start counting, we're not going to leave here. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I have a truckload of interests. I want to do too many things at the same time, too many opportunities I want to jump at, projects I want to work on, things I want to build, things I want to learn, loose ends I want to tie up, and it feels like the list is long. It goes on and on and on. And the interesting thing is, I've looked at my friends. I have ambitious friends. I have friends who are building something that's going to outlive them. I have friends who are learning, building, and just making the most of the interests that they have, making the most of the skills that the Lord has graciously given to them. But at what cost? Every day, there is a deadline to meet. Every day, rest feels very foreign. And that is where the problem lies. For the longest time, rest has always felt foreign to me. My mind is always working more than half the time. Even every moment that I have to rest and just, take in the moment and touch grass. Guess what? My mind is working overtime and my body is trying to react and respond to it. Let me tell you something that happened to me last year. As a core member, I went to Ebonyi State, and that afforded me the opportunity to visit places that I have never been. It was beautiful. It was refreshing. But I promised myself during my stay in camp that it would be a memorable moment for me to touch grass. And thankfully, I didn't have my laptop with me. For the first time in a very long while, I didn't use my laptop for 3 weeks straight. And that moment was really interesting. It felt a bit foreign, but I was willing to make the most of it. So I told myself I need to touch grass. So I learned tie and dye. I wanted to learn driving. I wanted to learn bead making because I've always made beads. I mean, growing up, my mom had a business. I was barely 5 when I started helping her out with her business. We'll make holders, we'll make hairbands, we'll make purses, and a truckload of things that people will buy from us. Guys, I came back from Ebonyi. I was working as a TV presenter. I was learning shoemaking. I was trying to revive my tailoring skills. I was trying to learn how to make soap. I was trying to learn how to make hair again. I was practicing using my head. I was learning how to design again. I was learning how to get back to podcasting. I wanted to start my YouTube channel. See, the list was endless. I remember last year my father called me out and said, find time to go out, let your head down. You're always on your laptop, you're always working on something, it's always one thing or the other. And I've been trying my best, but it looks like my best is not enough because it feels like I'm almost always working. And a lot of people can relate to this. But I'm learning that rest is important. It's a very essential part of the mix. And I shouldn't treat it as if it's a reward for work. It should be a part of my productive process. And yeah, I thought to share that problem with you. I'm currently dealing with that and it's a lot. My mind is always conceiving something. For the longest time, each time I was sitting in a place and I wasn't doing anything, I'm like, okay, what should we do? Let's get started. Let's do something. I try to force myself to rest because I know that I cannot pour from an empty cup. So productivity is the goal, right? I might as well rest to achieve that too. And I realized that rest is very important too because it will give me strength to do the things I want to do. So my friends, what is the goal? Because sometimes we lose sight of the goal while we're chasing our interests. We're just trying to show up for everything, everybody, and we want to show up everywhere while we're building the things that interest us, while we are jumping on those projects. But what is the goal? It's simple. The goal is not to do everything at once. The goal is to identify the things that matter and the time they matter and do them. The goal is to do what is sustainable, really. So my friends, what's the way forward? What's the goal? Especially for people who have a plethora of interests and it's stressing them out? Very good question. I believe that the goal is not to do everything at once. The goal should be to identify what matters and at what time and pursue it. Focus on that thing. Identify what matters and build something sustainable around it. The goal is to do something sustainable and not necessarily do everything at once. This means that timing matters. Timing also matters. Being able to identify that this is the right time to do this and this is not the right time to do that. And my friends, it's a wrap on today's episode. See you. I hope I didn't bore you. But thank you regardless for listening to my problem. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. And till next time, it's a goodbye from me to you. Love and cuz.